mean, how old are you?
I'm 18.
That you're going to be going to prison for the rest of your life. And then you sit here and you have an issue.
Please talk to me with a normal tone like everyone else does.
Listen.
Meet teenage Karen of the century, 18-year-old Christian Ard, who has just realized that when you murder someone, you get to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Because everyone else just made me seem like a cold-blooded killer.
And freak out.
You're being very rude
not being
and
rude.
disrespectful with a loud tone that I don't appreciate.
After freakout, will make this drama queen realize that there is no escaping the consequences of her actions.
I'm a young lady that's probably going to spend the rest of my life in jail for something I didn't do. I'm just like freaking out right now.
In December of 2019, 18-year-old Christian Neely Ard made a panicked call, demanding an ambulance. She stated that she woke up to discover her friend, 16-year-old Dakota Kersey, on the floor beside her, cold to the touch and not breathing. The arriving ambulance assumed they were walking into the aftermath of a tragic medical problem. Instead, it became instantly clear that they had entered the scene of a murder. Dakota hadn't peacefully slipped away in his sleep from an underlying issue. He had been shot at close range and left to die. He was rushed to a nearby hospital and placed on a ventilator. Police didn't have to look far to figure out the first person on their suspect list. The only person in the home at the time Dakota would have been shot was the caller, his friend Christian. Although, given what she clearly did, the word friend might be a stretch here. And yet, as detectives bring her in for questioning, that's exactly the role she tries to play. Despite the literal blood on her hands and clothes as she sits down to speak with them.
I know I'm just annoying you every time I ask you a question. I'm not trying to. I just don't understand. So I'm about to get asked questions like...
Everything will be explained to you in just a few minutes.
Okay. Photographs? Does everyone have this happen, or is like... I know, you know...
Like I said, they're gonna come in here and talk to you. We shut that door for them.
I'm too fat to run. I'm too nice to be trying to hurt anyone. I'm dangerous.
She's just gonna take some pictures. Where is it?
Just stand right here.
There's like a mugshot or something?
No, it's not a mugshot.
I don't even do that.
Keep in mind, at this point, Christian has been in the interrogation room for less than 5 minutes. She's asked detectives several questions, none of which are about her supposed best friend, Dakota, which is just one of many, many tells that her lying game just isn't the best. If you like watching people like Christian realize that they're not winning an Oscar anytime soon, subscribe. That's literally all we do here.
Hey, Christian. I'm Investigator Harris. I work with robbery homicide with the Sheriff's Office, and this is Sergeant Coxwell. Hey. How you doing today? I know you had a rough day. Listen, before we do anything else, I got to read this to you. We read it to everybody before we start, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you as evidence in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present while being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer will be appointed for you without cost before questioning. If you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You understand those rights?
Yeah, but...
We do this to everybody before we start, okay?
That's never how I came to the same exact room and got asked questions before, and this was not recommended.
Okay, well, I don't know who talked to you, but this is how we always do it.
Okay.
But do you understand those rights?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So tell me, how long have you known Dakota? Quite a while, or?
I've known him since like January of last year.
January last year. How'd you guys meet?
I think just like through it's his brother, just a mutual person.
His brother? You and his brother were friends, or what?
We were friends, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Not anymore, though?
No.
You guys have fallen out, I guess?
Semi, something like that.
Okay. It's kind of a personal thing, then?
I don't know, just his brother just did some things that weren't really all that great.
But you met Dakota through, what's his brother's name?
Jamie.
Brother, and what kind of, necessitated the friendship between y'all? You just got along, were able to talk and all
We
that?
both have anxiety and a bit of depression, just not really that socially out there. Just kind of socially awkward, I guess. I don't know.
Do you recall him ever saying anything about wanting to hurt himself?
Not, I mean, like, yeah, but I didn't, nothing like serious about that he would do anything, I didn't think. I don't know.
Do you remember what he said to you before, or that led you to believe that he would hurt himself? He said that there was kind of something.
Well, I mean, he always says that he hates his life, but I mean, I say the same thing, and I mean, I've heard he said he wants to die, but I mean, all the things that I've heard him say, I've said myself. Like, I don't think it's not anything that was like just a red flag. I don't think.
You saying the thing in the last couple of days that led you to believe that he'd want to hurt himself?
Not really, no.
Okay.
How long has he been staying there?
He hasn't been staying with me. I mean, he stayed last night there, and he stayed not the night before that, but the night before that, if that makes sense.
So he went back to his parents' house and then came back to stay with you again?
Just hanging out, really. Tried to get him to get the Xbox to work so we could watch a movie. I don't remember if he got it to work. I think we might have just turned on the satellite and watched that. Tried to clean up a little bit because it was a mess. And I don't know how, but I ended up popping the air mattress because we were supposed to lay on the air mattress and just watch TV. But I ended up, I think I changed to be comfortable because I was wearing some long pants. And then I think I just fell asleep. I fell asleep super early.
Remember about what time?
Dude, it had to be like 7:30.
When you went to sleep?
Yes.
Yeah. Tired?
Yeah, I didn't sleep the night before.
Why?
I was by myself.
Scared? Noises?
Just afraid that people are going to come back to attack me or hurt me or something
Just
like that.
irrational fears, or is it somebody specific?
Don't you know? I remember him, so I feel like he remembers me. He's just acting like he doesn't.
Do you remember what you came up here to talk to him for? What was it for?
My home invasion?
I knew you. Which home invasion?
Huh?
Which home invasion?
Home invasion? What is it?
No, which one?
Creekside Court, October 9th. He doesn't like me.
He doesn't
I
like
think
you.
it's because I was crying then. I don't know why I cried. I'm stupid.
You think he doesn't like you? I don't think that's true.
It's okay. I don't like me either.
Why?
That's not why we're here. It doesn't matter.
No, I just want to talk to you, that's all. All I'm trying to figure out is what happened, that's it.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're allowed to be upset. There's nothing wrong with being upset, okay?
Yeah.
Now, throughout the interrogation, Christian repeatedly refers back to a home invasion that happened at her house 2 months before Dakota's murder. According to her, that invasion and robbery was conducted by Dakota's brother, Jamie, and Dakota was the one to relay that information to her.
But the biggest thing for us is that we've got to try and figure out what the deal was, and I just want to know what happened, that's all. So when you got back to the trailer, you said you tried to get the Xbox fixed, right? Okay. And then you couldn't get that fixed. You popped the air mattress at some point. You can't remember when. And then about 7 o'clock, you said you fell asleep.
Like 7:30.
7:30. Okay.
7:38-ish.
Okay. You guys were in bed together?
I was like, so he was sitting on this end of the bed and I was laid down and yeah.
Are you guys semi-boyfriend, girlfriend, or kind
I don't
of
know.
sort of? I mean, you guys.
Hanging out together.
Yeah, but he's 16. That was a big problem. I didn't want
It's
to
okay, it's not against
I
the
was
law.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
For real?
Well,
I was afraid I was going to jail for talking to him when he was 16 and I'm 18.
No.
So like it hasn't been anything like that.
Hey,
But like
it's not. That's not illegal.
I don't know, but Do either of y'all know how he is?
I don't know how he is right now,
Please tell me you know. Is he okay?
He's at the hospital. I don't know yet there.
but we will find out. Okay, I will find out for you. Okay, but are you guys kind of boyfriend and girlfriend?
Kinda.
Okay, well, I mean, do you guys every once in a while?
No.
Are you intimate?
No, I'm not.
No.
No.
Okay.
He's just trying to be around for my mental sanity because I just haven't been okay.
So you're just kind of around to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. So you went to sleep about 7 o'clock. What happened after that? Do you know if he went to sleep too, or was he there?
I don't think he did. I think I passed out because of not sleeping the night before. I was just super just.
Okay. When he came over to the house, I know he came over when you picked him up, right? When you picked him up, did he bring a bag of clothes with him or anything?
He has his book bag for school because I was supposed to take him to school this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't understand how I didn't wake up until 2 o'clock today. It doesn't make any sense.
But he had his book bag with him.
Yes.
Okay. So about 7 o'clock you went to sleep and you saying you didn't wake up until 2 today.
Right before I called the ambulance.
Okay.
Because I had,
You had what?
I had woken up and I couldn't figure out why didn't understand why he was on the floor, and I sat up and then I just saw blood and I started panicking and I didn't know what to do.
Do you remember hearing a gunshot?
No, and that's what I don't understand. How would I not wake up from a gunshot? I feel like I would have heard that.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But my window was still pinned shut because the window was broken, but it was still all pinned shut. I don't understand. There's nobody that came in. I don't see how somebody could have come in and why they went. If somebody would have came in anyways, it would have been something to do with me, not him. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just as confused. I don't understand. I'm trying to answer questions. I am, but I'm confused too, and I don't get this.
Well, when you woke up and he was laying there, okay, and you said you saw him, how was he laying? Where was he? Because I saw he wasn't there when I got there. So can you describe to me which way he was laying, which way his head was, and where his feet were?
He wasn't laying.
He wasn't.
When I said whenever he was sitting at this end of the bed, and I was laying right here.
No, when you woke up.
Oh, when I woke up, I was still laying down that way, and he was laying down on the ground.
Okay. Which way was his head? Do you remember?
This way, the same way that my head was right here. Say my head here, feet where he is.
Okay.
Same. Dakota was the same way.
Okay. And then what did you do?
Tried to get him to wake up, and you couldn't wake him up.
And then what did you do?
I tried to get on my phone, and I was trying to call. I tried to call his brother at first to see what, try to get information or understand what was going on, but I didn't have service. So I started throwing my bag. I tried to throw everything that I had together into a bag, and I was gonna put it, just get in my car and go to the 6 kids up the road and get a service card, but that didn't seem logical, so I just tried to rethink my situation, and I tried to wake him up again, and I didn't want to just waste time trying to go buy a phone service card to go get service and call his brother, so I just I used that phone to call 911, and obviously that's what I did. But
That phone, you talking about his phone?
no, the iPhone.
The phone that you have. Okay. So you called 911 and then what?
I was freaking out on the phone with them. I'm trying to figure out what to do. They had me check his heart rate twice. And then basically they just couldn't really find the address, and they explained it. They got the EMS there, ambulance there, whatever. And I don't know. The dude walked in and he said there was a gunshot wound. And that's why I felt I didn't think that was what had happened. I didn't know what had happened.
You're talking about the EMS guy came in and said there was a gunshot wound. Okay.
That's what it was, the situation. He had a gun.
So until then you didn't realize it was a gunshot.
I didn't know at all.
Okay.
But I didn't understand what the lump was, but I didn't think that was a gunshot. I don't understand why it would be a lump. I don't know.
Do you have feelings for him?
I definitely love Dakota with all my heart.
That kind of love or friend love?
I don't know. I didn't want to ruin the friendship, so I didn't ever want there to be more. I don't know. And like this whole situation, I just like want to be able to grab my phone and call him and talk to him, but like I have to remember what this situation is, and like I'm here talking about him, explaining the situation. Can you call the hospital?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Especially if I end up having to go to jail for something. I just want to know that he's okay before I do, because
What would you have to go to jail for?
the fake money, the smoking a blunt, I don't know, anything that was, if like my house did get searched and there was any drugs there or anything like that being found, just other reasons. I don't know.
Why would you go for the fake money? Is that your fake money?
No, but he's not awake to tell anyone it's not. For any reason, I don't know.
You know where the money came from?
No, I don't.
Christian and Dakota had a rather unusual friendship. You see, Christian was kicked out of her house, leaving her with no place to go. Dakota took her in, welcoming her into his family home, buying things for her, and just taking care of her in general. He made it clear to his friends that he was interested in a relationship with her, and she made it clear that she was a bit more interested in the things he had to offer.
Did you ever come across the gun?
Yes, I did. And I threw it into my purse. You know this.
Well, I'm asking. I don't know this.
Okay, I thought you already knew.
No, you never told me anything. That's where you and I are talking for the first time, Christian.
I know that.
That's why I don't know any of that. That's why I'm just trying to get you to talk.
Well, I showed the EMS dude where it was.
Okay. That was after he came in?
Yes.
Okay, you showed him where it was?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you find the gun, Christian?
Well, I found it beside Dakota, but I threw it into my purse, and I was, I don't know. I didn't think it was a gunshot wound. I just thought, like, his gun was on the floor beside it. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, but, like, I'm not in a position where I can come up with anything. I'm not going to try to come up with anything to tell you. But, like, there was a gun on the floor beside him, so I threw it in my purse because I didn't want to end up calling the cops and then them coming and get like, well, oh, why is there a gun here? I don't know. I ended up, yeah, I don't know.
This is something that I'm just going over some of the things you said, so I'm sure that I understand what you're saying.
I know you probably don't, because I don't sound logical. I don't.
Well,
believe.
here's what you told me, okay, and then maybe you can clear it up. You said that until the EMS guy told you that it was a gunshot, you didn't realize that it was a gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
But you found the gun. How could that be? Explain that to me.
Because it was on the ground beside him.
Okay, and he's bleeding from the head. And why didn't you connect that was?
Because I didn't think he himself ever.
Where was your purse at, hon?
My purse. There was a
The purse that you put the gun in. Where was it? It was in the house.
Like right now, currently,
No,
or
honey. When you were in the house, where was the gun? Where was the purse?
in my bed.
Okay, so you put the gun in the purse, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you do with the purse?
I had also put my wallet and my keys and like everything that I was taking in my purse, and I took it to my car.
Right. Why did you take it to the car?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't understand much of what I was doing, but I was just, I don't know, just to take it. So it wasn't gonna,
Did y'all get high last night? We smoked.
Nothing else? No laced? Not laced with anything?
no,
Okay. Nothing else? No other pills or anything, right?
no,
Is there anything in your trailer?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Is there any other kind of drugs in there that we're going to find?
I don't think so.
Okay. You don't think so? Or, because, I mean, is there other stuff? I'm not police. Okay. The reason I'm asking is because you slept for quite a long time, and I'm curious as to maybe if that was the reason.
No.
And if you took something else, if you took or anything else. Nothing?
Don't was in it.
Okay. What else would be in there?
There might be, if anything, there would be.
Just, do you use anything else? Christian? Sometimes.
It says you can use everything I say against me, and what if I tell you I've done? I don't want to go to
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not the police. The reason I'm asking is because I want to determine whether there's anything that may be in your system that maybe made you sleep as long as you did. Or maybe there was something in Dakota's system that he used. Maybe he found something that was in your trailer. You know, maybe that was part of the reason for the accident.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking. If there was something else in there that maybe he found when you were asleep and took. Wouldn't be anything else in there?
Inside Christian's purse, detectives found baggies of several illegal substances as well as paraphernalia to go alongside them. Evidently, those drugs must have killed some brain cells, because Christian is about to make the worst slip-up of all time.
All right, so you woke up. When you woke up, he was laying on the floor. His head was in the same direction as yours?
Yes.
Feet were in the opposite direction. Was he completely proned out? Was he kind of like scrunched up or like that? How were his legs?
Just like this.
Okay. And where was the gun?
Like right here.
Like on the other side of him?
Like on this side.
Was he laying on his back or his stomach?
He was laying on his back.
Okay. So the gun was on the, well, I guess it was right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And you saw the gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And why at that time didn't you think that it was?
Because I didn't think Dakota would hurt himself. I don't like.
Why didn't you think that it was a gunshot wound?
I didn't know. I don't know. Like, I don't.
I mean, you did hear what I asked, right? Because what I really said was, I said, why didn't you think it was? You said, well, I didn't think Dakota would ever hurt himself. So you didn't think it was.
No, he didn't die. Oh my God.
Or an attempt.
Okay, but he was still breathing, so why can't we, like, make sure he's okay and then ask him these things?
That's what we're going to do.
Good.
But what we're doing now is I got to talk to you because I can't talk to him because they're working on it.
Okay. I don't understand how.
So tell me why. Christian, I understand that part, but I mean, what I'm confused about, what confuses me, is when you say that you didn't recognize that this was a gunshot wound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You said that. You said you didn't recognize that this was a gunshot wound, but there's a gun right there. Okay. That's the first thing that leads me to question what you're saying. Okay. And then you said that you picked the gun up and you put the gun in your purse that was on your bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you moved that to your car.
With my person because I was going to leave.
Okay. Why did you put the gun in your purse? Why didn't you just leave it where it was?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I knew he couldn't legally have it.
Well, I understand that, but you know that it doesn't make sense to me. So are you saying that what you were trying to do was keep him out of trouble?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so you're saying that you picked the gun up and put it in your purse and then took the gun to your car so that he wouldn't get in trouble for having a gun.
Yeah.
But he's got a gunshot wound on it.
But I didn't know it was a gunshot wound.
What did you think
wasn't
happened?
Obvious. I think that's because I have an irration that somebody's going to come into my house again and like just try to take my shit, but I don't have anything anymore. So I thought that somebody came in, and the last time that somebody came in, it ended up being people that were super, like, not super close to me, but people I had known for a really long time. So I figured somebody had came in again, and like maybe it was somebody that I figured it was Josh or something, and Josh seeing somebody else there to beat the shit out of him.
So before you called the ambulance, you picked the gun up, put it in your purse that was on the bed, and then put your purse inside the car, correct?
Well, I mean, it wasn't just I was trying to pick up the gun and put the gun in the purse and run the purse to the car. Like, I was trying to get everything that I was taking with me. Like, I had got my wallet, figured out my fanny pack. I put my fanny pack in my purse. There was money by his head. And put all that.
How much money was by his head?
It was fake.
It was fake?
Mm-hmm.
Like counterfeit or fake?
Yes.
Counterfeit.
Fake money, like.
Okay. Where did you get that from? Did he tell you?
I don't know.
I don't know where he got it from.
No.
Okay. So you picked all that up. Did he have anything else next to his body that you picked up, put in your purse?
I did open his pockets, tried to see what, like, I was like trying to figure out what there was a pack of cigarettes and a lighter beside him. Not beside him now, he's not there. But,
So you went in his pockets for what reason?
to see if he had anything to help me. I don't know what to do. I tried to turn I think his phone was dead. Tried to unlock his phone to use his phone before I had to use my phone. I don't really know. I feel like I'm not trying to sidetrack you or distract me, but I like keep getting lost in my own thoughts. What is the question? I'm sorry.
Was there anything else that you picked up next to his body other than the money and the gun?
No.
Okay. So you said, just want to make sure I'm tracking. You said when you woke up, you saw him there, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you woke up and you saw him there.
I panicked.
Yeah, right. You panicked. And tried to wake him up. Tried to get him to respond, which he didn't. And at that time, then you decided you wanted to call, right? So you couldn't for the reasons that you told me. So you were going to try and go to the store to get a card, right? So you saw the gun, didn't realize that it was a wound from a gunshot. You picked the gun up. Is this correct? Okay. And then what else? What happened after that? You said you picked the what? Money up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what'd you do with those?
Put them in the purse with everything else I was taking.
Okay. And then what'd you tell me about his pockets?
I don't remember when that was, but I had I think I was checking for a charger for his phone. But I was trying to see what was going on. I don't know, just to try to find some insight. If that makes any sense. I mean, obviously none of this makes any sense, not to me anyway.
Well, the thing that I keep getting stuck on more than anything else is picking up the gun and the money and going through his pockets and then putting all that in your purse and putting it in your car. It doesn't make sense. The rest of it, what you said.
I checked his pockets to see if there was anything that would give me any clues to what was going on there. And, literally.
And you're saying that the gun didn't give you a clue?
Not really, because his brother kicked down my door with 4 guns. What do you mean? I mean
that you got somebody laying there with a wound, a very serious wound.
Okay.
And he's profusely. He's incoherent. You're not able to wake him up, and there's a gun next to him.
He was breathing. That's why I didn't understand. I don't
totally get that. But you told me that he never showed you the gun earlier in the night, right? No,
okay, not earlier in the night. No, he didn't.
Killing your friend is already bad enough, but robbing your friend's body after killing them and then trying to play it off like you were helping them? Ice cold. And at the time, Christian had plenty of motivation to steal. She had been cut off by her family, who had been providing her with money, and they were pushing her to get a job. Something that Christian really didn't want to do. Looking at it from where I'm sitting, okay? If I look at that and I go, okay, he had a gunshot, just hear me out. He had a gunshot wound, right? He's laying on the floor, right? Okay? I see money next to his head, fake money. I see a gun next to his body, okay? And I see him profusely. Try and wake him up, can't wake him up. Still, I'm not thinking that this is a gunshot. Still not thinking it's a gunshot. However, I picked the gun up, put it in my purse along with the money and whatever's in his pockets.
No, nothing from his pockets.
Nothing from his pockets, but I do go in his pockets. Put what I have in the gun in the purse, and then take the purse and put it in the car because I'm getting ready to leave to go to the store to get a card for my phone. Okay? Does any of that make sense to you?
Sort of, but not, kind of, a little bit, but I don't know, probably not fully. But, what do you do in a situation like this when you've never been in and none of it makes sense?
Well, because
honestly, what I thought happened is I thought somebody, came in. I thought that, everything that I've been fearing, that's what you saw. I told you I was scared. That's why he was there. Thought everything I was fearing of people coming back happened.
And why'd you hide the gun?
Because it's still, he's still not allowed to have it. I didn't want either of us to get in trouble when, he's already hurt. I think that needed to be the aim of concern.
You didn't call the police, did you? You called EMS, right?
Yes.
When you called the EMS, what did you tell him? Did you tell him it was a gunshot wound?
No, I didn't. I told him that my friend was hurt. I woke up and he won't wake up and he's bleeding.
Okay, so then...
Can't you get that record?
No, I can't. But that's... So you told him that your friend was hurt and he was bleeding, right? You didn't ask for police. And if you didn't think this was a gunshot, then why would you think police would show up and you'd have to hide the gun? There wouldn't be any reason for you to hide the gun.
Well, if they just saw it, then yeah, I think so. And I saw the honey by his head. I don't understand. This doesn't make sense. I'm trying to make it make sense as much as you are. So please help me if you do. I don't get this. But like, see how I was trying. You say I was trying to put the gun away so nobody would get in trouble, but I still got put in handcuffs in the back of a car, and like I was trying to help the situation.
The only reason we do that when we transport you is because it's policy. And that's you are under arrest. Okay?
It feels like I am. Y'all have me in a marshmallow suit.
Do you know why we have you in a marshmallow suit?
No.
Because you're in your clothes. That's all.
On my clothes.
Your hands.
Yeah, and why didn't you check my hands for gun residue? Because it was from the inside of my, like I said, I was on my period. When I woke up, I did this because I didn't understand why it was wet and there was blood everywhere.
That makes sense.
Well, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing to tell someone.
No, but you told me and it makes sense, right? Okay. But when we go through this,
That's also why I put, okay, I'm sorry to
that's
finish
okay.
this off.
Go ahead.
But I had on those shorts. When I woke up, I had on black Adidas pants that are in my house.
Right. And you changed into shorts.
Yep, because my pants were covered in blood.
From you.
From me, yes.
Okay.
Last night or today?
Well, from having the same protectant shit in from 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. until this morning.
Okay.
The period excuse is a creative one. It may be the least far-fetched lie Christian has offered. Well, except for the fact that the blood was all over her clothing, the walls, and the Clorox wipes that police found in the trash cans. And all of it belonged to Dakota, not her. Police conduct a gunshot residue test on Christian's hands.
So.
But I was like, weed is illegal. Didn't want to go to jail smoking a blunt. And I didn't, the whole time throughout this questioning, I'm still worried about the smoking the blunt and the stuff like that. But I'm actually here being questioned for possibly shooting my best friend. That's like the saddest thing of my life.
What makes you think you're being questioned for that?
Because talking about the gun and him.
I have to ask questions about what's there, right?
Those are facts, but like.
Well, I mean, if you were in my situation, you would have to ask the same question. Right?
I know, but that's why I'm like trying to just tell you everything and go through everything correctly, because I'm not. That's my last thing to have to worry about. I'm hoping that this situation works to where like the justice system provides justice and accuracy. So I hope I don't go through some shit for some shit I didn't do.
What didn't you do, man?
Anything harmful to anyone.
Okay. Which would mean what in this case? What?
Shooting Dakota because they say it's a gunshot wound.
Okay.
If y'all like hear if he's okay, like can someone please tell me that he's okay?
Yes,
Because he has to be okay.
Okay. We're gonna take you back to the house here shortly. Okay.
Thank you.
Where's your right hand for? Swear everything you said, every bit of information you provided was true and correct to the best of your knowledge.
True and correct to the best of my knowledge.
So that's
I
a yes?
swear. Yes.
Okay.
What is this?
Huh?
Okay, I have vision problems. For the first few times I glanced over there, I'm like, why the hell does he have a weed leaf on his hand? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I got to give you some bad news.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to understand that it's difficult for us to say this stuff too, but he's probably not going to make it.
No.
Listen.
No.
I have to tell you. Okay. I have to tell you. Okay. Right now, they're going to be. His parents are at the hospital right now. Okay.
I'm listening. I'm sorry.
It's okay. There's nothing for you to be sorry about.
Why? I don't.
Is there anybody that I can get to talk with you that you've got that's close to you, family or anybody that can come and sit with you
Where?
at your house?
I don't know. I can try to call Josh, but I can't do it from my number. But that's the only person I can think of who can be there in a rough situation, and I don't know.
Tragically, on Christmas morning 2019, Dakota's family was forced to make the horrific but honorable decision to take him off a ventilator. He was just 16 years old and left behind friends and family who loved him dearly. On the outside, Christian tried to play along as a mourning friend, but both police and the public weren't buying it. In the new year, she was brought in for questioning yet again.
Okay. All right. So here's what I want to do. All right. Before we go any further, you and I talked before, right? And I told you how important it was that you're honest, right? Because honesty is what's going to make the difference, right? For me, for you, for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you about some things that I know that you weren't quite honest with me about. Okay. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to clear things up a little bit. And then I'm going to tell you some things that I've learned. Dakota passed on Christmas Day, and the way it stands right now, just so you're aware of it, okay? The way that the medical examiner has determined preliminarily, in other words, just a preliminary determination, was that this was most likely not self-inflicted, okay? So they're saying that the way that the wound was and the distance from where the gunshot was taken to the wound, it would make it near impossible for it to be self-inflicted. Okay. Now that's the one thing. Now the other thing is that you were telling me that Dakota brought that gun over to you. Remember when you told me that? You said that Dakota brought the gun over. Okay. And that part I know is not true. Okay. I didn't know that then, but I do know now that that's not true. I know that gun was yours. Okay. I know this, and I know this from a lot of different sources, not just one place. Okay. And I understand that you got robbed. All right. And from what I understand and what I have spoken to several people about is the reason that you got that gun was because you were scared. And I got that. Totally get it. Makes a lot of sense to me, does it not?
What doesn't make a lot of sense to me is the fact that you're saying that Dakota was it wasn't self-inflicted.
That's not me.
I'm just gonna.
No, that's not me. What I'm saying is I'm telling you what I was told. Okay, so that's where I'm at with that part of it. I just want you to know what I know. Okay, so now, like I said about the gun, I already know that gun was purchased from a black market source. Okay, and I know this because I've spoken to people about this. Okay. So that was one thing that you were dishonest with me about. Okay. So I'm giving you the opportunity to clear it up. Now, if you bought that because you were afraid, then that's what you tell me, if that's what you want to say. Okay. But the gun in itself, okay, you know, that I'm not sure why you felt the need not to tell me the truth about that, you know?
How? Does anybody in the building have a lighter? Is there any ability that I could smoke a cigarette just and breathe for a second?
As soon as we get done, I'll take you down and you can smoke one. Okay?
Well, I wish I knew that before. I'm just freaking out right now from the ability, just the fact of you. What?
So here's my question to you, okay? Why did you feel the need to have to lie to me about the gun? Because what you told me was that the gun was Dakota's, and I know it wasn't, okay? So why did you have to lie to me about the gun? Why did you feel the need to do that?
Because I feel like the tendency of the law enforcement system, people end up sometimes getting a shitty hand, and I felt like I was going to get a hand of getting charged for somehow killing, I guess at this point, killing Dakota or shooting Dakota or doing something to Dakota. And that's exactly what it sounds like now.
I know it doesn't sound like anything. All we're doing is talking, correct? Okay, that's all we're doing. We're just talking, okay?
So now's the time to be honest with the questions that he asked you. And if you're around and playing with it or whatever, and it went off or whatever,
No.
so be it. I'm just saying, if that's what happened, now's the time to be honest about everything. You're a young lady. You know?
I'm a young lady that's probably going to spend the rest of my life in jail for something I didn't do.
We're not in the business of putting people in jail for doing stuff they didn't do. We're in the business of getting to the bottom of things and the truth, and then the chips fall where they may. But things that when you start off with a lie, you have to tell another lie to cover that up, and it just snowballs and snowballs. The truth never changes.
And see, that's when we talked at the very beginning of this, and I was, we established some sort of rapport. I was very honest with you, was I not?
And I was very scared of you.
Right. But do you remember at the end of it? You weren't at the end, right? And what did I tell you? You asked me at the very beginning of it, you said, am I going to jail today? And I said, no. And you went home. I was very honest with you. So, I expected you to be honest with me at that point. So it kind of concerns me that you weren't. Okay.
I'm sorry, and I was scared, just like I feel like I am right now.
Well, I understand that.
But the truth doesn't change.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And for the sake of everybody concerned in this thing, everybody, us, you, Dakota's family, everybody, what we're trying to find out is we want the whole story. Okay. Because when the whole story is told, everybody knows it and everybody feels better about it, including you. Okay. Including you.
So now I have people telling me that I better go to jail for the rest of my life, and if I don't, I'm gonna wish I would have.
Well, we'll talk about that.
And that's
okay?
people in his family.
I understand. We'll talk about that. But regardless of what anybody says to you at this point, what's most important is to get the story told, okay? And to be honest about it, okay? Let me ask you this. Why did you pick the shell casing up?
What is that? Is that the hollow thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's in my trunk. I didn't know what that was at first.
No, the bullet that you put at the bottom, the shell casing that you put at the bottom of the cigarette case on.
Bottom of the cigarette case?
Yeah, your cigarette case.
It wasn't in a cigarette case. It was in a box.
No, it was in a cigarette case. It's the shell casing from the round that shot Dakota.
No, I specifically remember it was a box in the trunk.
No, it was in your cigarette pack, and it was sitting on your center console in your vehicle.
Okay.
So that's why I was asking you why you put it in there. Because you told me before that, that the reason that you put the gun in your purse.
Yeah, because, and then whenever all I 100% know is that I had picked it up and I feel like something clicked and I thought about it, but I didn't want to believe that was what it was. But
So, when you picked the shell casing up and you put it in the cigarette pack, were you doing that for the same reason?
No, because I don't know exactly what my reason was, but I'm trying to think because I feel like this shit doesn't look good, but I'd rather think hard about it and look stupid and be able to tell you the truth. Get your head and live life. No, I'm pretty sure I picked it up and I was like, no, it's not possible. And I just I think I threw it in this. I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I could
You picked it up and along with the gun, or?
No, I don't. I don't know. And I'm trying to just fill in blanks with possibilities, but that's not going to be good.
No, you really want to think about it.
Christian hiding the shell casing from the shot that killed Dakota might have worked. Well, if everything had gone according to plan. You see, at the scene, Christian repeatedly begged forensic detectives to let her grab a pack of cigarettes out of her car. But considering it was a crime scene, the detectives told her she couldn't enter her vehicle or touch anything. Christian became irate. So irate, in fact, that she tried to forcibly open her car door to grab a pack of cigarettes. The pack that had the shell casing inside it. A detective had to physically pull her away from the car. She was lucky not to rack up a charge for obstruction of justice, but evidently not lucky enough to get away with murder.
So this is some of the things that I've learned. Okay. The 9mm shell that's fired, okay, that was fired inside your trailer, was capable of 160 decibels. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
And that means if you listen to the space shuttle launch, the rocket launch of the space shuttle, that's how loud that is.
So how did I not wake up? So I feel like you're going to ask me that because I don't understand.
Well, that's why I'm bringing that up. Okay. Because with as loud as that is, okay, it would be very unlikely that being in such a small area that you would be able to remain asleep during that kind of noise. Even being a deep sleeper, that noise is unbelievably loud. Unbelievable. Your trailers.
Give me a lie detector test or something, because I'm not trying to go to jail for murder.
Well, listen, Neely, I'm asking, all we're doing is talking right now. Okay. Okay. Nobody has said anything about anything else other than that we're talking. We're trying to figure things out.
But you've said things like it's very unlikely that Dakota committed. And
I'm telling you what somebody told me. Okay. Okay. That's all I'm telling you is what somebody told me. All right. That's all. Okay. Now, when it comes to, things at the scene, okay, the Clorox wipes were used, okay, to clean up the area a little bit. All right. And I don't know whether you know that you put them in the trash and they had blood on them. Okay. So they were used to wipe.
It's getting worse and worse. And I don't like the way some of this is sounding.
Well, the reason I'm telling you this is because these are the things I found out after you and I talked. So I'm letting you know where I'm at. Okay. This is where I'm at. I just want you to explain it to me. Do you remember doing that?
Never. Not at all.
You don't remember cleaning those things up? You don't remember using Clorox wipes to wipe anything?
No. What did I supposedly wipe?
I don't know. It had blood. They had blood on them. I don't know. I don't know if you wiped.
Did y'all run the things on my clothes and my sheets for the blood? Because there was blood that had came out of my body that was on my sheets and on my clothes, and it was
some of the stuff that was on the walls inside your trailer had some smear marks like they had been wiped, and then there were also some Clorox wipes that were in the trash can. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, what goes behind doing that. Why did you do that? Why did you wipe those things? Or why did you, were you trying to be, because things happen, okay? When you're in a stressful situation, you do things that you wouldn't normally do. Understand? Right? So that's why I'm trying to figure it out. So can you tell me why?
No, because I did not do that. I don't know. The Clorox wipes, wiping things I did not do.
Okay. Well, they were your Clorox wipes. They were in your trailer. You had a full thing of them or a half full thing of them or whatever. It was in there, and there were some that were used and they had blood on them that were in the trash can.
You have pictures of that then?
Yeah. I have pictures of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I got pictures of all that stuff.
I don't remember that. And I'm at this point where I have no reason to lie to you, because if I lie to you, I just look even worse. And if I don't lie to you, maybe you'll somehow freaking figure out how to help me too, to where I don't go do time for something I didn't do. So I'm trying to give you full cooperation and understanding.
I know, which is why I'm continuing to talk to you. Do you remember what else you put in the purse other than those things?
No.
Okay. You had several carts in your purse. Okay. And I think you're aware of that. All right. I already talked to people and they know that you sell. Okay. I know that you're in the game. All right. So let's not try and get to the point where we're saying, okay, well, I don't.
Those are in a Nike book bag.
Okay. And they were in the Nike book bag. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was some flour in there too, and a little bit of.
Don't think.
A little tiny bit.
Okay.
See, I can see the smile. There's a little bit of a smirk there. Okay. How long have you been selling? The reason I'm asking this is because it may have something to do with what happened to Dakota. Okay. So I'm asking, how long have you been selling? How long have you been selling? For a long time or just for?
No, Josh. Something that started with Josh.
You started selling when you were with Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. How often?
Not me. Can you give me a lie detector test or do anything of any sort to prove to you that I didn't do?
I mean, that could be absolutely arranged. If that's what you want to do. If you want to,
what I want to do. I'm just.
I mean, if you want to take a polygraph test, that can absolutely be arranged. Okay. But the end analysis is what we're trying to get at is the truth. Period. All of us. Okay. The truth. Okay. That's what this whole thing is about, is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are the wipes. Okay. In the bottom of the trash can. Okay. That's the cigarette pack that was on your center console. You asked to see these, so I'm showing them to you. Okay. That's the shell casing that you put inside the cigarette pack. Okay. Okay.
Have you tested the?
Okay. And this is all the items that we found in that little pouch that you were talking about. Okay.
That's a jewel.
That's okay. Flour. And those are all your cards that you have already admitted to selling. Okay. The whole thing of it, Neely, is that, where we stand now is we're in search for the truth. Okay. We're in a search for the truth, and denying something. Okay.
What do you think I'm denying?
I don't know. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I'm talking to you. Okay. Have I one time come out and said, you did this?
No, but I don't even think you're allowed to do that. Even
Yes,
if that's
I am.
What you think.
Am I allowed to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. I am allowed to do that. Okay. But what I want you to do is I want you to be able to tell me what the deal is. Okay. I want you to be able to tell me from your standpoint what it was that happened. Okay. Because there's going to be a lot of speculation, because the things that you told me didn't make any sense, and they still don't. Right?
So nothing, I still make absolutely no sense.
Some of the things that you told me don't make sense.
Once more, Christian was released, this time to do a lie detector test. When she returns to speak to police about her results, she's dressed for the occasion. Isn't that nice of her?
All right. So there's a couple things that I want to go back over. She told you that your test was inconclusive, right?
It's very upsetting.
Do you know what that means? Did she tell you what that means?
They couldn't get a yes or a no, I think. Well,
what it means is there's probably some things that you may have been slightly dishonest on. This is what they're saying.
She said my body.
You're physiologically, you're having a problem. Your heart rate's all over the place and all that. So, which is understandable. Okay. There's some things that I want to talk about that I know for sure that you didn't tell me the truth on.
Just in there?
No. When we talked last time.
Last time or the first time?
The second time, the last time I talked.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it may be because you didn't remember. That's a possibility. Okay. Or there could be a number of different reasons. Okay. But I will tell you that there are some things that give me pause. All right. And I'll tell you what one of them was that when we first talked about what happened right after you woke up. Okay. And we talked about, what you did with the gun and the shell casing and all that stuff, and the carts and the flour and stuff that you put in your purse. Okay. We talked about that. And you said that, you put those in there while you were waiting for EMS to come.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you did.
I don't recall what I did.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you, that's not what you did. I listened to the 911 call. Okay. And one of the main things that you do in the 911 call, when they ask you what happened, is you tell them that there was blood around the floor, and it was around him, around his head. And you tell him about some of the injuries and stuff. You don't talk about the gun at all. Okay. Where you found the gun or anything like that. Okay. And that's because the gun was already gone, because what you did was you waited while you put stuff in the car and hid things before you called 911. You were on the phone and you tried to text at 7:00. Okay. And this is from your phone. Okay. And the text didn't go through.
7.
Yeah. Or not 7, but 1:00. I'm sorry. And the text did not go through. Okay. So at that point, you know,
That was before I called 911 because that was before I knew that I didn't have service.
right. That's 30 minutes before you called 911. Okay. So that's a long time. All right. That's, you found him on the floor. Okay. Which is what you told me. And then 30 minutes later is when the 911 call was made. Okay. Cause I know you were awake and you were using the phone 30 minutes prior to you calling 911.
Okay.
So is that the time that you were using to hide the stuff in the car? Is that what was happening?
Multiple times I tried to wake him up for long periods of time, just trying to shake his body and saying Dakota. And a good bit of minutes was me bawling because I couldn't wake him up. When I knocked on my neighbor's door to see if they had a phone that I could use, I went to the neighbor on that side and the trailer over first on that side. And those are the main things I remember doing, is trying to wake up Dakota and trying to find somebody with a phone who had service.
Okay. And you had to have been putting the stuff in the car at that time too, huh? There's no other way to do it because you were on the phone the whole time with EMS
Okay.
and you were doing stuff. I mean,
Okay.
that's what I'm asking. You know, is that what happened? Did you put stuff in the car before you called 911? Is that what happened?
I suppose if that's what adds up, I cannot confirm or deny completely because things were fuzzy.
The fact that Christian was actively using her phone for well over an hour before she called 911 told detectives everything they needed to know. While Dakota laid on the floor clinging to life, she went about cleaning the crime scene. But really, she probably should have waited longer, because despite giving herself that hour to clean, she didn't cover her tracks very well. Or at all, really. At this point, police have had enough of the lies.
You woke up, and when you saw Dakota on the ground, your first reaction is to try waking them up. Not trying to sound like the ground. Floor. There's blood everywhere. And your first thought is, and I know, understand this. You keep a gun in your trailer. The gun ends up in your car. I mean, I'm not trying to
I know everything
You're
was
really
bad.
You're treating us like stupid, okay? Just being straight with you. You knew it was a gunshot immediately. No, no, listen. You watch plenty of shows. You said you don't know anything about guns yet. You already know about Dracos. You know about AK-47s. You have one tattooed on you. Okay? Stop the inconsistent bullshit. It's as simple as this. You wake up, you see him with a gunshot wound. Okay? Based off of your statements, at least. He already expressed that there's a 30-minute window. Okay? You take time to hide the gun. The that's on him is already drying at this point by the time EMS gets there. You've already stated inside this room that you're going to be going to prison for the rest of your life.
No.
You did. You said that's the reason why you're in here, and you're going to get whatever information you need to do to snitch.
I didn't say.
And then you sit here and you have an issue. I'm sorry, the reality.
Listen, I'm trying to shut up and do what you have to say.
Look at the reality of the situation here, okay? We deal with this every single day. I have not had one person come in here with more bullshit than you have. This is an opportunity for you to start over and tell us exactly what happened. Are you ready to be truthful with us? What really happened to Dakota inside the trailer?
First, I never said I was going to prison for the rest of my life. I said I knew there was enough reasons for me to go to prison from me selling drugs. I never said...
Said nothing about drugs in here.
There has been talk about drugs in here.
And you said, I'm in here to be cooperating because...
I am trying to cooperate, but I only feel like I can cooperate for him. Because everyone else just chooses to make me seem like a cold-blooded killer, and I'm trying to do everything I can to
I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. I think there was an incident in there, and I think there was a problem, and you hesitated, you got scared, and so you panicked. And what you did when you panicked is that there was a time period
I
when
don't, and I'm not yelling at you, making you feel like you're making me feel, so please talk to me with a
I'm
normal
talking to you
tone,
normally. You're
like
the one yelling
everyone
right now.
else does.
Listen to me. You need to calm down, and we need to start from the beginning. This gentleman sat here kindly with you this whole time, and as you fed crap to him.
Go ahead.
Isn't it incredible how quickly her supposed panic attack stopped when the cops had to talk on the phone? Christian may be just about 18, but you're about to see her transform into her final form, a Karen.
Meanwhile, Dakota's on the ground, rattling with hole in his, and then you spend a ridiculous amount of time over his, trying to wake him up when half of on the ground, and that's what confuses the hell out of me. And you're telling me you didn't know it was a gunshot. You picked up a casing, and you're like, oh, I didn't immediately think it was a gunshot. Oh, how did the gun get from point A to point B and get into the car?
And everything was moved before I ever saw the casing.
So the gun was already moved. Who moved the gun then?
You are. I really don't want to speak to you.
That's fine. You can get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I just don't like the way that you're making me feel, and I'd rather speak to somebody else.
That's fine. Here's the thing. I'm here.
Okay.
Because questions are being asked. This is the problem. There's so many inconsistencies we're looking at. And you come in here and you amazingly have amnesia on every little aspect. You can ask this gentleman here in his long career, especially in his military career, do you think he hasn't had traumatic incidents? And you remember them all, don't you?
Yes, I do.
It's bullshit. So you spend a ridiculous amount of time over Dakota's. I say he's pretty much dead at this point. You say he's your best friend. Maybe you need to stop coming here and bullshitting us and telling us the truth. It was an accident. It was an accident. Let's say that.
But I'm not telling you I did something I didn't do either. If I was trying to hide the gun, if I did like that, like I did it, I would have took it somewhere. I would have left it with everything. I wouldn't have came back, or I would have tried to do something with his body if I didn't want him to have help, or if I wanted to have done something to him, or if I would have done anything to him. You're trying to wordplay.
It's not wordplay. I'm very blunt.
No, you're being very rude.
It's not being rude.
Disrespectful with a loud tone that I don't appreciate.
You being louder to me doesn't win this conversation here, and it's not an argument. What I'm telling you is that I'm presenting the facts.
Like I'm being attacked.
I'm being very blunt with you, and I've been very straight with you.
Can I go?
Give me 1 second.
Can I go?
Yeah, you're free to go. Hang on, just hang on. I have to walk you down. Raise your right hand for me.
No, please. I don't want to. I don't want to do anything because I don't like it. I completely.
All I'm asking you is to raise your right hand so you can tell me that you're telling the truth. That's all. Raise your right hand for me. Just raise your right hand. Tell me that you're telling the truth. That's all.
Please don't ever bring him into here to talk to me again. I'll talk to anyone here. You can just throw me in jail, please. I don't want to do that again. Please. And it's not even that I want to finish.
I understand.
It's not even that I'm done talking to you. It's that I'm so done with this in general.
I understand. Raise your right hand for me, honey. Raise your right hand for me.
I'm tired of raising my hand and then signing things when I feel like it's just putting me in worse positions.
Okay, I understand completely. You swear the information you provided me is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
If I say something, are you going to put my hands back and take me to jail afterwards?
I'm asking you if you're telling the truth.
Yes.
Okay. Everything you said to me is the truth, yes? You swear everything is the truth, yes?
I think that the gun was under the drawer, under the stove, but I'm not completely positive where it was at before it happened.
Okay.
Yes, now I completely swear that everything I've told you is true.
Ultimately, Christian was charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child, grand theft of a firearm, possession of cocaine with the intent to sell, manufacture, and/or deliver, possession of a hallucinogen with the intent to sell, manufacture, and/or deliver, possession of marijuana with the intent to sell, manufacture, and/or deliver, possession of drug paraphernalia, giving false information to law enforcement, evidence tampering, and contributing to the delinquency and/or dependency of a minor. With a list that long, you'd think she'd be behind bars for life. In the end, however, Christian landed herself with just 20 years in prison, followed by 10 years of probation. Our thoughts are with the family and loved ones of Dakota Kersey, whose life was snatched away far, far too soon. Thank you for tuning in. Nearly 85% of everyone watching isn't subscribed. Your subscription and support would mean the world to us, so we can keep bringing you more content just like this. Before you go, check out one of our craziest cases right here, or one of my newest ones right here.